Hey everybody, what's up? Long time no see. Shadow Serpent here. Welcome to today's video. The first part of this, before we get into the rest of the video, is going to be me apologizing for such a long absence from these videos. Um, I've had a lot of life going on. I got married. Um, Not only did I get married, but I've been spending a lot of time with my wife and my kids and all that stuff. So working and all that fun stuff. So I haven't really had much time to play the game and to really do much. But I'm back. Finally got some time to make some videos. I got some more coming to you guys. But I also wanted to say that since they introduced these casual modes for Resurgence and for Battle Royale, that's been my go-to thing. I don't play much Plunder anymore. I really enjoy those modes because I am a casual player, and if you're watching this, you're probably a casual player as well, and that's the audience that I pander to. I'm not here trying to break records and sweat my balls off constantly. I am here to have a good time and have fun, and I do have a lot of fun playing these game modes. Just figured, I'd get into it and let you guys know that that's where the bulk of my videos are going to come from, is one of those two modes. Every so often, maybe we'll get some Plunder games into, because that is still fun. It's just no fun to play them by yourself, and then you get in with randoms and they don't do anything, or they're not on the same page as you, stuff like that. So that's the gist of it. Again, I apologize for the absence. Today's video is going to be a meta loadout breakdown. You can mix and match these however you want. These are just what I believe is the meta from what I've play tested, and obviously the stats. So let's get right into that. So we're going to go with the first loadout here. This is probably the absolute meta. Despite people saying that the Cypher is the best, I think that the AMAX is still better. It does have a decent amount of recoil, but especially if you can get your gunfighter build, it's definitely the best gun in the game, hands down. Has better range, better velocity, and once you get all three of the recoil control attachments on it, it's much easier to control. The Cypher is still really easy to use, and that's where people are going to default to. But the LC10 is still the meta, even after, it got a little bit of a nerf, and it wasn't much, and then they didn't do anything in Season 4 Reloaded to nerf it to, make it in line with the other ones. It's just better than everything else. So this is my 5 attachment build. We got the long barrel for better range, get that range up to 16 meters, Ranger foregrip for better sprinting movement and better horizontal recoil control, extended mag 1 in this case, and that's just because I don't want to use the larger extended mag, because it does slow you down quite a bit. You see, you get your 220 millisecond aim down sight speed. The sprint to fire would be fine, but I'm just I don't know. I think this is better, and it's plenty of bullets despite the 800 RPM. It kills so fast you can down multiple people with one mag. But if you feel better using that, you can always put like the quick draw grip on or something like that to make the ADS even faster. I use the CQB grip. CQB grip does sprint to fire speed, and when we're at 195 millisecond aim down sight, we're already under 200, so we're in a good spot for that. So we want the sprint to fire speed to be as fast as possible. This also helps with the slide to fire, dive to fire, etc., etc. Then we're using recoil springs. Now this is optional. I think the gun's fine just as it is, but where I do use my SMG more in that, 15, 20, 25 meter range, I like this to be as accurate as possible. That being said, if you wanted to throw on a stock for better mobility, you could do that. Infiltrator stock is good for that, balanced stock, or if you wanted to put on like a suppressor, you could do that, or you can put on an optic if you don't like the iron sights. Now the AMAX, I personally use the iron sight build for the AMAX because I think the iron sights are really, really clean. If you are not comfortable with the iron sights, but you like this gun, throw on an optic. If not, definitely build this out as a gunfighter loadout. I'll show you that in a second. And this is what I go with. We got the ported compensator to negate that first shot recoil, and it still gives us vertical recoil control. Reinforced barrel is going to give us, a 58 meter effective damage range and a little over 1,000 bullet velocity, which is just fine for taking those shots. Vertical recoil, or vertical foregrip, attacks the horizontal recoil. Extended mag 2 for 60 bullets. This is for quads. If you're playing solos, you can get away with the base mag because that's such a slow fire rate. Or if you're playing like duos, trios, whatever, you can do the 45 round mag as well. And then recoil springs. So let's show you the 8 attachment. I don't know if I have one built. So we're gonna get rid of the 8 attachment Cypher just for a moment, and we'll do an 8 attachment AMAX build. So this is the 8 attachment AMAX build. I like the Odora red dot, still with the ported compensator, reinforced barrel, vertical foregrip. Extended Mag 2, Ergo Grip for better ADS speed and slide to fire speed and all that fun stuff. Balance stock and recoil springs. So that's what we do for 8 attachments. Next up, and then just to show you guys how clean the iron sights are too, we'll give you some shooting. So if I'm gonna, like that's the LC10 beaming that 25-meter target. I'm a terrible shot, so don't mind me. But here's the AMAX. Like absolutely beaming. So next we got the SOG and the Cypher. So the Cypher is still really, really good. I think that the reason I'm putting it at number 2 is because of the ease of use. And this build specifically has better bullet velocity than the other one. So if I take this off, I have about the same velocity as the AMAX, but the effective damage range is way less, which is why the AMAX, in my opinion, is better, plus the recoil. But we got the monolithic on there. We got 1200 bullet velocity, 52-meter effective damage range. We went with the iron sights, so we can do recoil springs. This thing is just really easy to use. And you'll see that most of my builds, this is like kind of the go-to right here. And then the SOG, we went for like a full recoil build. It's got 220 meter millisecond aim down sight speed, but like there is a decent chunk of recoil on this gun, so you kind of have to. And let's see, I want the Ranger grip. So you got 6.9 sprinting speed, which you're always sprinting. So extended mag 2. This one does have a 900 RPM, so you can't really get away with the extended mag 1 unless you're playing solos. In which case, like if you feel like you can, it does have a decent bit of vertical recoil, so I would definitely drop the recoil springs for like for the ergonomic grip, and then probably put on the vertical foregrip, and I think you'll be fine. And like this build right here will be perfectly fine. So I'll show you that in the thing real quick. Definitely a little harder to hit this. See, like it kind of goes crazy. Like I didn't overcorrect or anything like that. It has like it has just like a the recoil goes wild. But that's basically how we do that. So the next loadout is going to be the Jackal and the Grau, or the SWAT 5.56 with the Grau conversion. The Jackal is also really good. It has a lot of vertical recoil because of the nerf it got to its recoil. So I don't use the Ranger foregrip or like something else. I use the compensator, vertical foregrip, long barrel, and then the Ergo grip, getting that that ADS speed down. And it's a pretty straight shooter, and it does kill pretty quickly. I think it has like a 528 millisecond PPK. 512 right there. I was with like a couple of headshots, so 640. I don't know where we missed there, but then the other Grau, super accurate with the Grau. So we'll give you the Grau loadout real quick. We got the ported compensator because this does have like a jump when you shoot it at first. It just, you don't, it has like a jump kick. So like the regular compensator will help you with the vertical recoil, but it doesn't help you with the first shot recoil like this does, and this just helps you stay on target. I don't know why this isn't on there, but we do use the vertical foregrip, the full auto extended mag light stock for this, so we can get better movement speed. Though I think the infiltrator stock might actually be the way to go because I do strafe when I shoot, and then the Grau 5.56 conversion. So number 4 is going to be the C9. We got the recoil springs, vertical, and reinforced barrel. It should be the long barrel. In the long barrel. And then we got extended mag 2 and commando grip. Normally I probably should do like the ergonomic grip. The sprint to fire speed's not too bad. And that would be the build for that. And then the Kilo. Now this doesn't have the fastest time to kill by any means. And with the velocity at over 900 to start, you could get away with using the long barrel for this gun. But I think the reinforced barrel works fine because you get 1100 bullet velocity and your effective damage range is still 44.4 meters, which is perfectly fine. And this thing's just a straight shooter. And so isn't the C9. So like it's just an easy loadout. Or even frying that target over there. And then you got the Kilo. It's just absolutely frying. So that's number 4. And then number 5. Surprise, surprise. MP7 and Scar. The MP7 got a pretty significant buff. Season 4 or Season 3. And this build doesn't have a whole lot of recoil. So you can even fry that target. And then the Attack 56. I'm just a terrible shot. So, but yeah, dude, absolutely, definitely some of the best guns in the game. So let's give you the loadouts there. So the MP7, we're going with the Shadow Strike suppressor, the Schlager RVB, the Edge XRK Edge handstop, 50-round mag, and the Demo RXT stock. We don't have the best movement speed per se, but our sprinting movement speed is actually pretty decent. And our ADS speed and sprint to fire speeds are also very competitive, all while having a 15.6 meter effective damage range and over 800 bullet velocity. So like that's really good for an SMG. And then you have the TAC 56. Which this gun is just super easy to use. I have the Quartermaster suppressor on there, so it's even easier, but you can go with any of the other suppressors, and you can get almost 1,200 bullet velocity and nearly 60 meters of effective damage range, and it's still going to shoot fairly straight. So. Just like that. I mean, 768 at 50 plus meters is pretty wild. So, well, that's going to do it, except for the fact that I want to show you the sniper loadout. Everybody knows this already. Monolithic, gain twist, quick draw, heavy stock, and the overpressured rounds. You get 12.500 bullet velocity, and you already have an infinite damage range, infinite one-shot range, so have at it, HDR. If you want alternatives, let me know in the comments, and I'll give you guys alternative loadouts for things that you can use that are outside of this top 5. But that's the top 5. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure you guys like the video and comment on it to help it grow, and then subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.